Welcome to this machine tool video, power tapping on a Bridgeport milling machine. Before you can tap a hole in a part, you need to drill the correct size hole into it. Use a chart or the machinery handbook to find the correct size for the hole. In this case, we're going to tap a 1/2 13 hole in the part. The correct size hole that needs to be drilled is a .421 using a 27/64 drill. Use a spot drill to drill the hole on location. Next, use the 27/64 drill to drill the hole that's going to be tapped. Sometimes the print calls out the depth needed for the hole. If it's not, and the hole doesn't go all the way through the part, drill it deep enough so that it can be tapped to the correct depth. After the hole is drilled, and if a countersink diameter isn't called out on the print, countersink it to a diameter that's about .060 bigger than the major diameter of the thread. Always check the print to see if it states the degree of the countersink. If it doesn't, use an 82-degree countersink for imperial threads and a 90-degree countersink for a metric thread. For this hole, we're countersinking the diameter to 1/2 plus 1/16 equals 9/16 and using an 82-degree countersink because one wasn't called out on the print. We measure the diameter of the countersink using a caliper. We'll also need the following to power tap the hole: the correct tap, a Morse taper tap driver, Morse taper holder for a Bridgeport, and cutting oil. When choosing a tap, make sure you choose one that isn't a hand tap. If you use a hand tap, there won't be enough clearance for the flutes and it will break. You also need to select the correct size Morse taper tap driver so the shank and the square drive on the end fit together correctly into the tap driver. Depending on the size of the tap driver, you may also need to use Morse taper sleeves so it fits correctly into the Morse taper holder for a Bridgeport. Put the tap driver, and sleeve, if needed, into the Morse taper holder. Secure the tap into the holder so it won't come out. Mount the holder into the spindle of the Bridgeport. It's always a good idea to move the quill stop all the way down so that you know it won't interfere where you're tapping. Also, make sure the quill has enough travel room for the depth required. You can use the machinery handbook to find the cutting speed necessary to calculate the RPM required to tap the hole. Set the Bridgeport to the correct RPM. Turn the spindle on in the forward direction. Apply cutting oil to the tap and the hole. Bring the quill down to the part and apply pressure until you feel and see the tap moving on its own. Let the tap go to the correct depth, or, if it's through a hole, move it until the tap is through. Shut the spindle off and wait until the tap stops. Turn the spindle on in reverse and the tap will back itself out of the hole. When the tap is out, raise the quill and then shut off the spindle. Clean the chips out of the hole and use a thread plug gauge to make sure that the thread is correct. Now the part has a threaded hole. It can be used for whatever it was designed to do. This concludes this machine tool video, power tapping on a Bridgeport milling machine.